He's been a billionaire, a bankrupt mogul, a reality TV star, the President of the United States, and the target of an assassination attempt. Donald Trump's life isn't just controversial, it's absolutely unbelievable. From Playboy magazine covers to a golden escalator that changed history, today we dive into the craziest moments of Donald Trump's life. The deals, the scandals, the fame, and the bullets. Donald John Trump was born into money, but he wanted more than buildings in Queens. His father, Fred Trump, was a self-made millionaire in real estate. Donald, he had his eyes on Manhattan. In 1983, Trump Tower opened on Fifth Avenue. Glass, gold, and glamour. It was more than a building, it was a monument to ambition, and it launched Trump into celebrity status. In the 80s, he bought casinos in Atlantic City, a football team in the USFL, even an airline. He was flashy, he was everywhere, and according to Trump himself, he was worth billions. Trump has claimed he's worth over $10 billion. Forbes, closer to $2.6 billion at his peak. The truth? Somewhere in the middle, or maybe nowhere close. By the late 80s, Trump was America's favorite tabloid magnet. Divorces, affairs, rumors, his personal life was front-page news. And in 1990, he posed on the cover of Playboy magazine. He was the symbol of the flashy, unapologetic American alpha male, at least in his own eyes. The Trump brand became sex, power, and controversy. Trump knew how to keep his name in the headlines, whether it was dating models, feuding with Rosie O'Donnell,
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out.
or trademarking phrases like, "You're fired."
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
The 1980s. Greed was good, and Donald J. Trump was its poster boy. Armed with swagger, inherited wealth, and a Rolodex full of connections, Trump dove headfirst into the high-stakes world of real estate, casinos, and luxury branding. He built towering monuments to his name: Trump Tower, the Trump Plaza Hotel, the Trump Shuttle, and then Atlantic City. Trump gambled big on Atlantic City. His casino empire grew fast. First the Trump Plaza, then Trump Castle, and in 1990, the crown jewel, the Trump Taj Mahal. At the time, it was the most expensive casino ever built, over $1 billion. But wonders come with a cost, and Trump had borrowed heavily, hundreds of millions, with sky-high interest rates and questionable projections. Then came the early 1990s recession. Gambling revenues dropped, the real estate market crashed, Trump's cash flow dried up, the Taj Mahal was bleeding $3 million a day. In 1991, Trump's empire hit the wall. The Taj Mahal filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. A year later, so did Trump Castle and Trump Plaza. He owed $3.4 billion and was personally on the hook for nearly $1 billion of it. But Trump didn't vanish. He negotiated hard. Banks, terrified of a total collapse, cut him slack. He gave up half his ownership in the Taj Mahal. He sold off assets, his yacht, his airline, even part of his stake in the Plaza Hotel. By 1994, Trump had restructured enough debt to keep his empire afloat. He was bruised, but not beaten. Over the next decade, Trump rebounded, not so much as a real estate mogul, but as a brand. Trump became synonymous with luxury, even if the buildings weren't owned by him. But the bankruptcies didn't stop. In 2004, Trump hotels and casino resorts filed for Chapter 11 again. In 2009, it happened again. Each time, it wasn't Donald Trump the man who went bankrupt, but the companies bearing his name. By then, the lines between the man and the myth had blurred. Trump walked away, often richer or relatively unscathed, while investors and bondholders absorbed the losses. Donald Trump's bankruptcies didn't end his story. They became part of it, a tale of risk, image, survival, and reinvention. He would go on to do the unthinkable, ride his larger-than-life persona all the way to the White House. Donald Trump's love life has never been confined to the bonds of matrimony. It has spilled into tabloids, courtrooms, and cable news cycles with all the flair of a real-life soap opera. Beyond his 3 marriages, Trump has been linked to a series of flings, affairs, and alleged rendezvous that kept his name in gossip columns long before he entered politics. In 1977, Donald Trump married Ivana Zelnikova, a Czech model and skier. She became not just his wife, but his partner in business and branding, playing a key role in managing the Trump Organization's properties. Their marriage symbolized 1980s opulence, lavish and ambitious, until a very public divorce in 1992. The divorce was after Trump had an affair with Marla Maples. He was still married to Ivana at the time, which was perhaps the first major scandal, climaxing with Marla's infamous quote in the tabloids, "The best sex I've ever had." Years later, during his presidency, Trump faced serious allegations of extramarital affairs with adult film star Stormy Daniels and Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. Daniels claimed she had a one-night stand with Trump in 2006, just months after Melania gave birth to their son Barron, and was later paid hush money during the 2016 election, sparking federal investigations. McDougal, meanwhile, alleged a year-long affair around the same time, and her story too was allegedly buried by a media company aligned with Trump. Both affairs were denied by Trump, but the accusations fueled endless headlines, legal battles, and public scrutiny. Add to this rumored flirtations and past beauty pageant controversies, including suggestive comments about contestants and models, and Trump's romantic resume reads like a scandal-studded epic. Yet through it all, he remained unyielding, often brushing off allegations as fake news or attacks by political enemies. Love, lust, loyalty, and litigation. In Donald Trump's world, they've always danced together in the glare of the public eye. In 2015, Trump made his boldest move yet, announcing his candidacy for president. Most thought it was a publicity stunt, until it wasn't. He bulldozed his way through 16 Republican candidates, went head-to-head with Hillary Clinton, and on November 8, 2016, pulled off one of the biggest political upsets in U.S. history. His presidency was marked by constant controversy: immigration bans, impeachments, COVID chaos, the Capitol riot. Love him or hate him, he changed American politics forever. It was a sweltering July afternoon, July 13, 2024, when history nearly took a darker turn. Former President Donald Trump stood before a roaring crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania, electrified and defiant just days ahead of the Republican National Convention. Flags waved, chants echoed, cameras rolled, but high above the chaos on a rooftop no one had thought to secure, a 20-year-old man named Thomas Matthew Crooks was assembling a weapon of war, an AR-15 style rifle, a 5-foot ladder, 50 rounds of ammunition. At 3:50 p.m. he opened fire. 8 shots cracked through the summer air. One bullet struck Trump's upper right ear. Blood sprayed as he staggered, ducking behind the podium. Screams erupted. Secret Service agents leapt into action. In the crowd, horror unfolded. A father and firefighter, Corey Comparatore, was killed shielding his family. 2 others fell wounded. Then just seconds later, a single counter-sniper bullet ended the threat. Crooks was dead. And then came the image seen around the world. Trump, wounded but unbowed, rose from behind the stage, his face bloodied, his right fist raised high. "Fight," he shouted, defiant and unbroken. That moment instantly etched itself into American history. The FBI launched a terrorism investigation, but Crooks had no manifesto, no accomplices, just a chilling silence. But the failures were real. The Secret Service had missed clear warnings, ignored rooftop security, and overlooked critical threats. In the aftermath, Congress demanded answers. A bipartisan task force uncovered deeper vulnerabilities and even evidence of a second, unrelated assassination plot in Florida. Meanwhile, online, conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Some called it a false flag. Others hailed Trump as a man saved by divine will. 1 year later, Trump reflected on that bloody day, praising the sniper who saved him, condemning the security lapses, and calling the attempt on his life both a miracle and a failure of protection. But no matter where you stand, one thing is undeniable. The moment in Butler, gunfire, panic, blood, and that raised fist became a turning point, a stark reminder of how fragile peace is in a nation so deeply divided. From the penthouse to the presidency, from bankruptcies to bullet wounds, Donald Trump's story isn't just crazy, it's historic. To his critics, he's a con man. To his fans, a savior. But love him or loathe him, Donald Trump has become the most polarizing political figure in modern American history. And as America stares down another election, his story is far from over.